Well, y'all, it's about that time to get this party started. So I am going to stop my screen share and feel free to have your camera on, but we're going to spotlight our featured guest for this evening, which is our very own Jessica Sheehan. And I would love to share just a little bit about her. She is from, and I want to say this right. Is it Hauppauge School District, Jessica? Did I say that correct?
It's Hauppauge.
Hauppauge. Okay, Hauppauge
Mhm.
School District in New York, where she resides. We're so grateful to have you here tonight to share your knowledge and expertise surrounding SEL fitness. Jessica's dedication to crafting and evolving her training style over 21 years with a variety of clients and students has recently evolved into SEL fitness. From young children to senior citizens and everyone in between, Jessica's focus includes student athletes preparing for a variety of sports, parents coping with life demands, individuals with special needs, people moving through daily life stresses, physical therapy, mental health and wellness, and more. Jessica devotes her vast experience, empathy, credibility, and passion, aiming for personal results that move the needle towards each other's individual's goals, that has invested in her mentorship, teaching qualifications, and training style. She currently is a high school phy-ed teacher in New York, where she resides, and integrates the Choose Love formula into her classes, and also live streams Monday morning music and movement energizers to the entire district, while she weaves in our Choose Love character pillars: courage, gratitude, forgiveness, and compassion in action. That sure sounds like a lot of fun, Jessica. We're so happy to have you here tonight, and I'm going to pass the mic on over to you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Julia, and everyone for having me. And as we start, I'm going to be sharing music. So just understand, if you're driving in your cars, if you're at a desk, if you're in a chair, if I stand up, whatever it may be, this is like your disclaimer out of the gates. Some of you might just want to watch and just take it all in and join in halfway through. Some of you might just love the vibe. You might be with your children in the car, like they might have it on their phone as you're driving somewhere. You might actually be at a desk too, or you might be around and you are going to modify on your own. So what you're actually seeing here is, I want you to take in and make it your own. This is not about what you're seeing. This is about what I am being. And it's truly, truly important that we kind of adjust, modify, and really get the juice and the good stuff out of this. So you say SEL fitness, and like, what is it, right? And the way that we can really see this is emotional intelligence plus movement therapy. And so many of us, a lot of educators here, professionals, family members, have been to many, many meetings, right? We talk about SEL, and we're at these meetings and we say, okay, well, what are we doing about it? How can we press play? And the last SEL meeting that I'm part of a committee at my school district, I said, so what are we doing? They started telling me about this Choose Love program. And it was like, okay, so let's press play on it. We got to try, we got to go, we got to do. So the elementary school teacher, one of them, we have 3 elementary school teachers, said, let's go. And I am live streaming, like Julia said, to the entire school district. So to start off, every month, we choose one of the pillars of Choose Love, and then we connect it with the emotional intelligence components, and then also the movement therapy. And the teachers are doing it, the people and the secretaries are doing it, the nurses are doing it, everyone, not just the classroom teachers, but the students, but everyone in faculty are on board with it. So it was something that I've pressed play on. And you might say, well, why also do we want to create this consistency? Because through the 21 years of what I've been doing, I would be teaching elementary students and I'd be noticing certain things. I'd go into the hallway and the classroom teacher would stop me. I'd be like, okay, this isn't like a 3-minute conversation. And then I'd go coach high school kids. And then I'd go have a client after school. And I'd be like, I'm having the same conversation. It's this same thread of anxiety, stress, depression, performance anxiety. And the biggest question is how can we really start moving the needle and really start to get results. And that's when and I press play on it and transferring it outside the phys ed classroom. This is not a phys ed thing. This is a human thing. And I think that's what is something really, really important of the administration behind the Choose Love movement has said, is that the courage, the gratitude, the forgiveness, and compassion in action is a human thing. So I leave you with this, as before we kind of button up this part and we get moving, is that this is not the way, it's a way. And I say that with a lot of confidence. There are many, many ways that we can move the body in this hormonal soup, because we're trying to access the executive functions in the brain. And with breath work and movement, it's like this hormonal soup that we can get moving. And what SEL Fitness brings is this affect piece. You're going to feel different just even listening to it, watching it, and being part of it. So the consistency is the biggest part about this. It's not just something that we tag in March because March is Wellness Month, right? That's why I'm doing the live streams once a week. That's why these videos that are incorporating the Choose Love program with the movement is something that can be done daily throughout the day. And then when we start doing these things consistently, the students, the administration, the faculty, the staff, the culture, the environment, as you see I'm doing this, it starts to click. And it becomes part of who they are, and the culture within and the paradigm starts to shift. And it's tough. That's the truth about it, is that it's tough because it takes consistency. So as we go, and I want you to think about, because sometimes people will put it into a box. And when we talk about IMs of SEL Fitness, is that I'm not a dancer. I'm not. People like to put things in a box, and I'd like for you to take this frame and kind of make it a little crooked. I dance, I move. I'm not a dancer. I swim, doesn't mean I'm a swimmer. What I am is a powerful energy and a sensitive spirit. And when we can really harness that and start to teach others how to connect with themselves, then they are able to answer that question. So then when we start to create this give and receive loop, things start to move forward. So where's your head at when we do the movement? Because it's not just movement. That's why I brought that up. It's not just fitness. It's where's your head at, and where are you emotionally connected with the pieces to the puzzle of what sets up the movement? Are we talking about gratitude, and where are you working through, and when do you feel that change? So I want you to think of bridges, and I have about 1 minute before we start. Let's take the bridge of this fear-based mindset to our champion mindset, our success mindset. And this, we have override capacity. We do. This is the skill power that we're learning every day. Can we take this, I'm trying to a doing? That's a mindset shift. It's the letting go in that bridge. Because think about the tone and the affect behind I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying so hard. Or can we press play and do? Doesn't need to look perfect. And when we understand that it doesn't need to look perfect and we genuinely can connect, then maybe we can start letting go. The last piece in the last bridge is this believing to knowing. The believing, yeah, it's good to believe, but if you hear that tone, there's this element of doubt. When you take believing to knowing, here we go. Here we go, because you have created this trust within you. And that is something that I think it's really, really important as this growing society moves forward, that with this work of the Choose Love program and SEL Fitness, we can really, really make moves. So here we are. If we want more, let's do differently and let's have some fun. Remember, make it your own. Do what you can. If you do something and you're short enough space, keep it tight. If you have a shoulder injury, if you don't like to put your head below your knees, don't. There you go. Keep it tight and understand that it's 7:09 for everybody, right? We can feel this shift and really start to feel the positives of where we are. Okay, pillar one, here we go. Gratitude. So when you understand gratitude, it is having this love and appreciation and how to show it to thyself and others. And when life really, really, really gets hard, are we able to still be thankful, and feel this gratitude. Because I'll tell you what, sometimes people say to me, do you just like wake up with like puppies and rainbows going off on top of your head? And I'll say, no, not so much. Like I said, this is a skill power, because there's sometimes this magic lantern, which is tucked right here. And this is your emotional intelligence piece. This magic lantern is my passion, my desire, my commitment to this work. And sometimes when I wake up, it's bright. This magic lantern that's inside of me, full of my desire, is super, super bright. But just like with that gratitude, understanding that sometimes your light is not so bright. Sometimes it's even super, super dark. And when in those moments, when you have these skills and you press play and you move that energy and you know that you have the responsibility to turn on your light, no matter what it looks like, then we can still move forward and have this essence of gratitude when life is hard. So here we are. I'm going to share my music. I'd love for you, if you're sitting down, we're going to start sitting. If you're in your chair, if you're in your car, here we go. Let's move along and let's shake this out. All right, everyone. This is your first set. We got 2 songs with gratitude. Breathe, inhale, exhale, interlace your fingers. Press it through. Hey, yeah. Breathe, inhale, exhale, punch it, reach up. Settle it on down. Shake your head, little tap on top of your head. Breathe, inhale, arch your back gently. Hold the negativity and throw it away. Breathe, inhale, roll everything all the way up. Breathe, one more. Breathe, inhale, interlace your fingers. Yeah. Shake your head, yes. Breathe, inhale. Exhale. Make sure your tail is sitting down. Make sure you're ready. We're starting with the shake. Breathe. Here we go. Hey, bring it up high. Bring it out low. Here we go. Breathe. Bring it down low. Hey, breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Roll the shoulders up, down, and back. Yes. Breathe. Take your left leg. Push straight. Breathe. Ready? Sweep. Reach up high. Pull that leg up. Yes. Put the foot down. Go. Breathe. Reach. Lengthen. Come on now. Inhale. Exhale. Pull. Breathe. One more. Breathe. Reach. Hold it out. Pull left and right. Go. Left and right. Left and right. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Roll up slowly. Feet tap down. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Interlace those fingers. Yes. Breathe. Inhale. Hold it. Get ready. Inhale, lengthen that right leg. Pull, yep. Breathe, put the foot down. Lengthen your back, tail back, reach your chin, over your shin. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, pull, bring down. Oh, just like the other side. Bring it out. Go ahead, bottom feel of poppy road. Feel the belly, bring it out. Yes. Breathe. 3, 2 more. Go. 2. Last one. Breathe. Inhale. Roll it up. Breathe. Inhale. Inhale. Breathe down low. Go ahead. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Roll your shoulders up, down, back. Reach all the way out. Right. Up yourself. Breathe. Inhale. Reach everything all the way up. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Low your touch. Nice job. Give yourself a high five. All right, everyone. So with that, there's always going to be a 10-15 second reset before we move on. And then certain times, the faster one, that's the move, the static. And sometimes you say, like, well, what do you mean by static? What I mean by static is that negative, foggy energy. We feel it bog us down and droop us. And we are this set of hormones inside that want us like a soup to make it nice and smooth and get all the good stuff going. And you actually could feel like the temperament of my brain just feels like I just went with that. And you let go, and now we can settle in. If you haven't done a lot of breath work before, this is a super important time. I call it like flirting with the line. If I cue you to breathe, we don't want you, sometimes it can get like a little bit in the head. So understand that as we keep moving and our heart rate gets up a little bit higher and our breath rate gets a little bit bigger and stronger, then we'll be able to take deeper, deeper, deeper breaths. If you're used to it, have at it. If you need to flirt with that line and go small, go ahead. Here we go, second song. All right, here we go. We're still sitting for this one. I want your legs to be nice and wide. Sit up tall, breathe. Take your hand to your belly, take your hand to your chest, take your hand to your head, take your other hand to your head, bring your hands down to a genie. Breathe, inhale, exhale, pull everything all the way down. Slide your body forward, tailbone goes back. My body's nice and long, broaden through your chest. Slide it down to the left, look over your right, press on your right, bring out your body. Breathe, there's nothing like you. Breathe, inhale, exhale, drop down the right side, look over your left. Back to center, breathe, inhale, broaden through your chest, roll up slow. Breathe, inhale, open up your hands, walk your body or you're standing over to one side. Open yourself up like a book. Breathe, heal it. Breathe, reach. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe, inhale, close it. Give me one more. Exhale, bring it out. Knees are to one side, other side. Close it, exhale. Breathe, inhale, open your mouth. Yes, inhale. Bring it out. Breathe, inhale, open everything up. Look back. Smile to yourself. Breathe, exhale. Yep. Here we go. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, open everything up. Exhale. Back to center. Breathe, open everything up. Super strong. Elbows. Breathe, hinge. Reach out towards the camera. Breathe, inhale. Exhale. Breathe, inhale. Exhale. Pull. Tailbone moves back. Pull. Inhale. Last one. Breathe. Inhale. Reach all the way up. Take your fingers. Interlace your fingers. Bring it out. Yep, yes. Breathe. Other way. Yep. Wiggle your body. Breathe. Inhale. Interlace your fingers behind you. Pull your hands down. Shake your head. Arch your back. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Throw it on forward. Bring everything all the way together. Breathe, inhale belly, inhale chest, breathe, inhale, hold it up to the top. Exhale, down. Last one, breathe, inhale. Exhale, last chance. Settle it, soften your eyes. Breathe, inhale, let everything melt, melt away. Give yourself a high five. All right, so here we are. The magic lantern connected with gratitude. Recognize that we're creating this give and receive loop. Super important that with the gratitude, we recognize we're showing this appreciation and this love and this kindness to ourselves and be able to give it outwardly, and we create this loop. This consistency is this skill powers that even when life is tough, even when it's super hard and challenging and we feel stuck, we have this power within us and this skill to say, hey, we can continue to move forward, we can continue to press play, and we feel things start to shift. So now we move on, and the second one is courage. So this takes a truckload of confidence and courage to do, to be brave and to be able to step up and press play when no one else is watching, no one else sees you. That is that integrity within oneself that we are building with these skills. So with the SEL part, the emotional intelligence part of when we talk about the courage, if we're moving in the right direction, we understand that we are making the choice. We hold an intention to say, you know what, when I wake up, when I'm in certain situations, I'm going to have the courage to magnify this positive. I'm going to magnify this positive within myself because I know sometimes I'm holding back. I know sometimes that there's this thing about me that people don't know that can be a huge, huge benefit to not only myself as I grow and evolve, but to others and who I'm surrounded with. So I use this tool as, what are you magnifying? Where is it in you where you feel that you're holding back? Magnifying the positive. And I'll tell you this, sometimes you have it on point and you're with family and you're with friends, and sometimes you're going to have to hand off this magnifying glass. And you stepping up and knowing and being aware of somebody else, and you handing off this magnifying glass, and you say, hey, I think you better take a second and start magnifying that thing in you, because you and everyone around us need that beautiful part of you. But it's tough. It's super tough. But it doesn't mean that these skill sets can't be instilled consistently, that we can move forward and actually have the improvement and the courage to step up even when no one else is watching us, and to recognize the very thing that we know is kind and loving and the truth. So as we move forward, a lot of times I hear from people that they have these butterflies, myself included. A lot of times that anxiety, that stress, that nervousness, I came up with this feeling of like, it's almost like butterflies are like bad dancers inside of me. But I know even before I came on to do this, that there's something super important on the rise. There's something that I truly, truly care about and I'm passionate about. And these butterflies are talking to me, but it's almost like they're bad dancers. So what I do is I take this skill and I say, okay, let's just get them moving in the same direction. If you can get these butterflies and tell them to your students, yes, they're there for a reason. It's part of who we are. It's part of our biology, and they're supposed to be there. This is that override capacity that I was talking about. These butterflies are almost like this fear-based instinct where they're nerves and they're making us nauseous, or we're doubting ourselves, but the override capacity takes it to our success mind. And when we get everything moving in the same direction, things start to click and clear out. So here we go, second set. Let's have some fun with this one. We're going to be standing. If you don't want to stand because you're driving or you're somewhere where you can't stand, so be it. Enjoy it. Do the things where you're sitting. You might just want to use your arms, but have fun with this one. All right, let's take those butterflies. Breathe, inhale, exhale. Let's flutter those butterflies. Bring them in towards your soul. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, pull it in towards your soul. Flutter those butterflies. Breathe, inhale. Let's get them moving in the same direction. Yep, breathe, inhale. Come to center. We're starting. 2 on each side. Yep. Double, double, single. Double, double, single. Hey, got it. Double, double, single. You don't want to hop. There's your pleasure. out. Two. Last one. Three. Let's cross the leg. One. Do that. Turn. Hey. Double. Double. Bingo. Three. Inhale. Roll everything all the way up. Give yourself a high five.
Oh, darling, dry your eyes. It'll be all right. Just look to the sky now. Come and lay.
If you've been moving along with me, take a sip, take a seat, take a sip of water. And here we are. Recognizing that we're moving forward with courage. So I'd love everyone to take your hands, and this is in sign language, courage. Here, inhale, exhale, squeeze and flex. Breathe, inhale, exhale, squeeze and flex. One more, breathe, inhale, exhale, squeeze and flex. Shake everything all the way out. So when you're breathing, I want you to think about belly, ribs, collarbones, head, and then breathe it all the way out. This sign language of courage is the brave way about you, that when it is super, super tough to step up, say the truth, move forward, you have this skill set to recognize that with the song and what you're doing is just something that is a go-to. Here we go.
Here in my arms, I can feel your heart. Oh, darling, dry your eyes. It'll be all right. Just look to the sky now. Come and lay here in my arms.
All right, I'm going to be standing. So if you're in front of a desk, super great. If you need to stack your hands, you can stack your hands. Start with a brave stand, super, super strong. Breathe, inhale, hook your hands. Breathe, inhale, exhale, broaden through your chest, into your head, no. Breathe, inhale, let's do it one more time. Hook, dip, breathe, inhale, round down through your legs, open up your chest. Breathe, inhale, exhale, heel toe your feet together. Hand on your diaphragm, hand on your heart. Breathe, inhale, breathe into the bottom hand, into the chest hand, top hand, breathe, inhale. Exhale, melt everything all the way out. Switch your hands, breathe, inhale. Exhale, melt everything away. Bring your feet together. Same arm, same leg. This is super important. Reach, pull, slow. Reach, dip into a little bit of a lunge. Reach, pull, last one. Reach, take your hands, pull your hands together. Reach everything all the way up, up, up. Gentle back bend. Back to center. Breathe, step together. Same arm, same leg. Here we go. Reach, slow, together. Breathe, reach, go. 2 more. Reach, get down low. Last one, go. Reach that back leg back. Hold it. Meet your other hand. Breathe, inhale, march everything all the way up. Gentle, gentle back bend. Back center. Breathe, inhale. Let's take that courage stance. Feet are nice and wide. Up and breathe, inhale. Exhale, squeeze, sweat. Melt everything away. 2 more, breathe. Exhale, squeeze, courage. Last one, breathe. Go ahead, inhale. Exhale, flex, squeeze. Exhale, melt it away. Take your hands, open everything up. Hug yourself. Breathe, inhale. Arch everything back up. Think about the opposite hand. Those hugs on top. Breathe, inhale. Take those elbows all the way up. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, close everything. Breathe everything all the way up. Back towards me. We finish with the rock. Breathe, inhale, reach everything all the way up. Exhale, can you bow your head? Breathe. Roll up slowly. So here we are, 2 pillars of the Choose Love program. We have gratitude, we have courage, and where the emotional intelligence is woven through is that we have our magic lantern, we light it up. The breath work, the movement, it's actually like the breath work and the movement is climbing up into our brain and turning on all these lights. That executive functions in the brain is where the emotional intelligence is. That's where our emotional regulation is. That's where our staying on task, our staying focused, us regulating our emotions. All those social skills, all of that that's developing in all these students is where we want to turn on, get as much oxygen and movement so we don't feel stuck and locked up. This brings me to the next one of forgiveness. And forgiveness, I connect with the treasure chest, because forgiveness is this piece of letting go. And that was in that bridge of letting go where we took the trying to doing. And when we can truly just press play and move forward and recognize that sometimes, yes, the letting go is super hard. With all the anecdotal evidence that I've had throughout my 21 years, the letting go is the toughest skill to do. Because of all the stressors, because of all the moving parts, because of all the noise, all the anxiety, and how much we care and love. So sometimes people actually say, I do all this work, and I actually feel like this is like all the good stuff is locked up. So with this movement of where we are with forgiveness and pressing play, we actually will feel the letting go, and it does the work of like opening up the treasure chest. The forgiveness is this actual superpower. This superpower that we have within us to say, I move forward with positivity, with energy, and with strength. And I say it and I pause because that unlocking, that letting go is something that we give to ourselves and we're able to give it outwardly. This is not something why I say we can't just tag this. We can't tag this once every 3 months, once in a year and check the box. This unlocking of this treasure chest of how people can forgive and move forward and understand the human nature of where we are and how hard people are working. These next 2 songs, I want you to think about, where's your head at? Are you unlocking this treasure chest and feeling like that performance anxiety, that stress, that negativity is actually starting to release? Because this is not about what we are seeing, this is about what we are being. And we can know that it's not about being perfect. It's about the 1 or 2 things that must go right that help us move the needle towards our goals and feeling like we are moving forward with our power, our integrity, our strength, our positivity, and most importantly, our energy. So let's stand up, let's have some fun, and let's move this out. All right, we're standing. Here we go, Julia. Let's have fun with this one. Punch, punch, punch. Drop it down. Go. Punch, punch, punch. Drop it down. Go. Hey. Yep. Got your pattern. Go ahead. Yep. Go. The practice creates the pattern. Last one. Punch, punch, punch. Drop it down. Breathe. Inhale. We're going to start to swipe our head. Swipe, swipe, shake. Go. Throw it away. Shake. Hey. Go ahead. Shake. Last one. Move on. Drive it. Go. Drive. Pull. Push. Other side. Pull. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Punch it. Drop it down. Go. Swipe it. Swipe. Yes. Drive it. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Point your fingers. Get your fingers. Reaching all the way up. Breathe. Reach, reach, reach. Reach up, up. Exhale. Down to the way. Back center. Roll it on down. This is your last shot. Shake everything out. Let's bring it over together. Let's rub it out. Yes. Breathe. Inhale. Drop it down. Exhale. Give me a high five. Good stuff. Here's your forgiveness breath. Take a seat. Let's go. Breathe. Contract and relax. Breathe. I want you to think about pulling it all the way up. Ready? Go up onto your toes. Go Go up onto your shoulders. Go up, squeeze, 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 squeeze your face. Exhale, say it to yourself. Let it go. Let's do that one more time. Here we go. Pull, come on, squeeze, 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 squeeze. Squeeze everything, contract, 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 contract. Use all your muscles. Let it all go. Take yourself, take the pads of your fingers, xiphoid process. Take your time with it. I want you to feel it. Thump, 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 thump. Tap, 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 tap. Curl it up to your collarbones. Breathe, reach on top of your head. Soften your eyes, let them gaze down. Emotional freedom techniques. Tapping, bring it on down underneath your eyes. Go ahead. Bring it on top of your lips. Bring it down to your chin. We're staying in this last one a little bit longer. Ready? Crawl up to the sides of your cheeks. Clench your jaw. Feel that muscle pop. Relax it. Tap, 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 tap. Soften. Feel it. It's gonna make you 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe. Inhale. Reach everything out. Cup your hand. Take your hand. Wipe. Wipe. Switch. Sign language. Wipe. Forgiveness. Give it outward. 2 times each side. Give and receive. Last one. Breathe. Inhale. Open everything all the way up. Breathe. Reach. Let everything melt and let it go. For myself, every time I do that, I tell myself to like reset and pause and don't just jump onto the next thing of what my brain is firing to. Because whenever I do that tapping, I'm not really sure why, and I'm being honest. It didn't happen tonight, because probably because I'm talking so much, but I always end up clearing my throat. And whenever I do it in my own practice, I always say to myself like, wow, something must be clearing, something must be letting go. Sometimes I don't need to know exactly what it is right now. But then when I see and I connect with this emotional intelligence of where my heart is at, and I said in the beginning, where's your brain at when you do this stuff? What are we connecting to? What are we evolving? What are we pressing play? And how are we moving forward with our strength intact, our energy intact, and our positive ways to be able to give and receive? Now we move on to compassion in action. It's our last pillar. And I'll tell you what, it's 7:45, and Julia, I am right on time. Scarlett, if you're still with us, this is one of my favorite ones, because it actually really, truly connects with the students. And those of you listening, you might have heard it before, because sometimes in a yoga practice, you'll hear it. Is about skipping stones and sending ripples. And this rock is actually a heart rock. And I love teaching this to students. I love telling it and teaching it again and again, these stories, to faculty members, moms, adults, families, guardians, in any platform that I do the SEL Fitness, and now adding and collaborating the Choose Love program. Compassion in action, connecting with skipping stones and sending ripples. Taking action and pressing play and actually having an intention of what are you choosing to put into this rock. Every day, it doesn't have to be tons of things. It could be one small thing that you set an intention of what you put into this rock. Because when I tell students this story, the best part about skipping a stone over any type of water are the ripples that it creates. And the more truthful part to it, the first time you try to skip a stone, you stink at it. You're horrible at it. And you actually don't create that many ripples. And the people that you're with, they're like, da, 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 and they throw these rocks and it just creates crazy, sick, awesome ripples. And then the kid is like, oh, why can't I do this? And then they pick up another rock and they search and they go and they're like, all right, I'm going to put love, hard work, positivity, kindness, giving. And then they do it over and over and over again. And then they get it. And the feeling of getting that skip of that rock is unbelievable. But I want you to think about the type of ripples if one person just does it. Because the compassion of the action is being able to have this empathy. I might not know what Julia or Scarlett or Alicia or Anne, I'm reading these names, or Jimmy is going through, but I can pull on the very thing within myself to feel what that person is feeling. I envision to say, I didn't go through what you're going through, but I have the compassion and the empathy to understand that possibly this is what you could be feeling. And pressing play is to recognize that this of skipping these stones, of what we choose to put into these rocks, if more people do this consistently and actually set the intention, those ripples can turn into waves. And I mean it. Those little ripples that if one person drops a rock, skips a rock, if more and more people do it, those ripples will come together and make waves. The emotional intelligence piece to the compassion in action is actually calling people out in our communities and in our space and say, let's make this a skill. I had a third grader the other day confidently say, I'm putting hard work and love. Great, your choice, third grader. Sometimes the puppies of the world and the young bloods can teach us the most, because sometimes when we bring up those conversations, they reset ourselves. They reset ourselves in that moment, and we can now continue to press play on the very things that possibly we know we are holding back. Therefore, that's what's taking that believing to the knowing. All of these things, these bridges and these pillars are creating this trust within us and also each other in our environments. That give and receive loop you're going to see in these last two songs, because I encourage you and I nudge you to have a conversation with yourself and listen. Because you and your voice is the strongest voice, and you are always listening to you. When children understand that and they see it, and then they remind us that our internal voice is a strong, strong power, and that we are always listening to ourselves. So this one we're going to have fun with. You don't need to stand up with it, but let's skip those stones and take action and send some ripples. We have two left, so let's finish strong. This one's fun. Last piece of the puzzle with this is that you have 5 chances to do the same thing. The practice creates patterns. The practice within us, no matter what it is, creates these patterns of where our brain starts to connect. There's the neuroplasticity that we're looking for. This is why movement and music and the affect and the emotional intelligence piece is extremely effective when done consistently.
Right now.
All right, everyone, let's stand up.
Real loose. Get comfortable.
Breathe. Let's shake it out.
Grab your loved ones.
You're going to go forward 8 times at the top of the pattern. Take a deep breath in. Let's shake it out. Hey. To the left. Other side. Bring it back. Go. To the left. Other side. That's your pattern. Follow along. Ready?
To the left now.
To the the right. Now take your left hand, put it on your side. Take your other hand down. Go ahead. Do the slip and slide. This next part's my favorite part, cause it's time to shine. Gonna do the two-step. Back to the top. Grab it sweetheart and spin. Go ahead. Do the hold down. Hey, and get other side. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down. Take a sip. To the side. Lean back. Put your head. Get ready to slide. It's simple. Ready? Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Now cool down. Have a good time. Slide to the left. Slide to the right. Do the butterfly. Have a good time round. Round. Round you go. It's time to show out right now. And take to the floor. Gonna do the two-step. Back to the top. Cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart. To the left. Do the hold down and get into it. Bring it back. Get it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down. Take a sip with it. Now lean back. Get ready to squat. Come on now. Down. Take it down now. Take it down now. Smile. Now. Take it down now. Bring it up. Bring it up now. Bring it up now. Crisscross your arms. Bring it up now. Take it down and crisscross. Keep crisscrossing. Back. Do whatever you like right here. Just have fun. Gonna do the two-step. Here's your pack. Grab a sweetheart and other side. Do the hold down and bring it back. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down. Take a sip with it. Now lean back. Brush it off. This is your last set. Come on now. Brush it off. Get rid of it. Get rid of all the shit. Get rid of all the that was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down. Take a sip with it. Now lean back. Put your hips in it. Give yourself a high five. Feet nice and wide. Last chance. Exhale. You have 3 minutes left. Round down through your legs. Take your left hand. Oh, you can't see. Go ahead. Say if you ask me, now you know I care, but it's hard to tell when you're scared. Breathe. But bring it up and over. Up. Me to hear you say and over. Broken. Give yourself a seatbelt. And even though I try, take your hand up. Run my mind reach in slow motion. Pull your bottom hand in. Squeeze, flex. Do you remember back when midnight drives when you'd sing? I'd play you songs you were in. I just want to be there again. Right hand. Do you remember when we roamed below us that day? Let it go. Said I wish we could stay. I just want to be there again. Up and over. Use those legs. Round down through. Reach. Remember that first life for right change once I had that like a hurricane. Take but your I don't hand. Care where I land. Oh, flex. So dance carefree. I hope that's easier knowing me. Now you're so back yours, but I'll help it move if I can. Bring it on down. Night, heel toe your feet, shoulder distance apart. Broken. Take the backs of your hands. Breathe. Even though I try, take them right here over top of your head. All these memories round down through. Sweep, dive forward. Do you reach up gently. Pull, switch your hands. I play you songs you were in. I just want to be there again. You remember when with Rome below us that day? You said I wish we could stay. I just want to be there again. Rest. Do you remember when? Take your feet together. Bring down your left leg. Bend your right knee. Reach. Where's the pinky toe? Look over your shoulder. I don't ever want to leave when you cry. Reach out. No, reach. Up. I need you to stay back. By my side. Stand up tall. Stand up tall. Reach back diagonal.
Opening the car door for light.
Back to center. Other way. Straighten, bend, reach.
You remember when midnight drives when you'd sing?
Reach up with that left arm. Reach out.
I just want to be
Reach
there
up.
again.
Stand up tall.
You remember
Up with
when
your hands
the room
all the way
was
around.
that day? You said I wish we
Scoop
could
the belly,
stay.
don't crank
I
the
just want
back.
to be
Back
there
to center.
again. Do you remember
Breathe.
when?
Inhale, reach all the way out.
Do you remember when?
Exhale, squeeze, make a fist. Breathe,
Do you
inhale.
remember when?
Exhale, make a fist.
Do you remember
Breathe,
when?
reach. Exhale, everything all the way down. Root yourself with strength. Pull down, head tall, chin is in, head tall. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, hug your chest, hug your heart. Give yourself your last high five. So our final thing is right here. I have a couple more things, and I do want to do 1 minute. 1 minute of alternate nostril breathing, because wouldn't it feel so great in all this hectic world if we could just feel aligned? So I'd love for you to take your thumb on one side and get ready to pinch with the other. So my left, your right nostril is open. I want you to breathe through your nostril, the one that's open. I want you to hold, I want you to close and open the one you just had close and breathe out. Keep it like this. Inhale, hold, close, open, exhale. 2 more sets. Keep it. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Hold. Close. Open. Exhale through your nose. Let everything melt. I'd love for you to take one hand, have it be on top of your knee, possibly. One hand up and one hand down. We have 2 final breaths. Breathe into the hand that's up. Exhale gently and press and give a little traction to the hand that's down. Last one, breathe, inhale, flip your hands. Breathe into the hand that's up. Exhale, press down. Take a deep breath in, give yourself a high five, lock it up. So as I finish up right here with this last 30 seconds, like I said, everyone at times wants to feel like balanced. But there's so many moving parts, there's so much stress, there's so many things that we want to get done and do. But what I will say is that there's a difference between being balanced and aligned. The work that you just did for the last 45, 55 minutes, wouldn't it be so awesome if we could feel aligned with who we are and what we are? We could be aligned with who we are and what we want. I want to thank you so much for this time, this intention, the people that showed up, because your soul is yours, my soul is mine, our children's souls are theirs, but I'll help it move if I can with SEL Fitness and the Choose Love program. Julia, thank you so much. Scarlett, thank you so much for this hour. And I'd love to open up to questions, little things, if we want to create a little discussion for the next 10, 12, 15 minutes.
Thank you, Jessica. I had so much fun engaging in this wonderful move. I feel so refreshed and so good. Lots of wonderful just movement activities and how you relate it to the Choose Love formula. Thank you so much. So yes, we're opening up the floor for any questions, comments that you might have. Please feel free to raise your hand or chat it in the box. We are happy to address them.
Oh, thank you. So much fun. Thank you.
Lots of gratitude in the chat here, Jessica. Lots of
Thank you
gratitude.
very much.
Oh, wonderful.
Randy can sign up if, like, you can go to SEL Fitness, www.SEL Fitness, my contact information, email, contact you through Julia, with Scarlett. We can have all these great discussions.
Yes. And if you are, yes, you can also learn about all the Choose Love Movement free resources and programming just by going to chooselovemovement.org. We'll drop that in the chat too. Yes, I can see this, practicing a lot of these activities with my students too, that they were just so engaging and so fun. And we are so grateful. So thank you so much. And I just want to thank you all for attending this Spotlight webinar. We hope you can apply what you learned this evening with Jessica to help create a safer, more peaceful and loving world. We'd love to hear your feedback about this webinar, as well as any suggestions for other topics. So please grab the survey that you are about to see in the chat at this very moment. We'd love to hear any feedback you have to offer to us. There it is. And whoop, there we go.
Hi, Julia. It's Stacy in New York. Hello, everybody.
Thanks for
Hi.
joining.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yep, we can hear you.
My video turned off and I'm on my cell phone. I'm not positive how to tap correctly, but it says tap to speak and then I have a done speaking button. I wanted to ask Jessica if she could repeat her discussion around how believing and knowing affected each other. That was in the very beginning of the power talk.
Yes, definitely. So I think of it as 3 bridges, and I'll repeat the first 2 bridges. And the first 2 bridges are like the fear-based mindset, taking it to the champion success mindset. And that's where we have override capacity. Then the next bridge that I take it to is the trying into doing, and just taking the trying and letting go and just doing your best instead of saying like you're trying your best. And the last piece of that puzzle was taking the believing to knowing. At times, yes, it's good to believe, but also with the same tone as the trying. Sometimes there is this underlining tone of there's still an element of doubt. And when you can take that believing to knowing, it's almost like game on, here we go. I have instilled this trust within myself. When you actually can feel the visceral feeling of knowing, you can move forward with another sense of courage and confidence and gratitude and forgiveness. And all of these pillars really, truly get rooted in that strength.
That's awesome. I really like that. I'm a Special Olympics swim coach and I can use that in some of the work I do with the athletes. That's great. I like that discussion. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Awesome. There's a question in the chat from, how would you relate this or implement this to a crisis that involves 5 children with lots of emotions such as fear, anger, and anxiety?
Well, I think one of the things that's super important out of the gates is that the movement that you do doesn't have to look just so, that there isn't a perfect way to do it. And when the stimulation, and that's why you saw me use different affect of music. Sometimes there is a thing called relaxation-induced anxiety. When people are in sometimes a very, very anxious state, their mind is racing, and it's almost like that hamster on the wheel. If you ask them to like just sit and breathe and relax too quickly, it almost is like that hamster wheel gets kicked, that hamster gets kicked out and like 18 squirrels comes in and takes over. So sometimes I stimulate, that's why you saw the faster, stronger, higher beat music first, to just get the hormones moving. And then you can settle in and almost head fake them into this breathing technique. Because when the hormones can move and the blood flow is accomplished, and it might not be in the way that I did it here, it could be in going to a track and being outside and having them just play, having them just move a little bit more stimulated, and then also then bringing it down and recognizing that the breath work has a place that is very, very effective. So using the different modalities, using different tempos of music, and every child is different. Some might respond more to the slower music. Some might respond to the combination. Some might want all higher tempo type of music, but it speaks to them in different ways. And it's very, very effective. I actually teach a class for the Effective Solutions class in my school that is very, very high intensity students at the high school level. And this 1-2 punch of this type of work really allows them to kind of have the emotions come up, they process them, and then they can kind of let them go and let it go as a wave. And are we going to fix it in that moment? No, but we can feel a shift. And that shift is that integrity within the student and within ourselves, that they're gaining that trust and that like that understanding that like, there is something to this on the physical level. So hopefully that helped of recognizing that if there is this type of crisis situation in certain situations that's intense, this is very effective movement therapy.
Yes, thank you for that. And I'd also want to add, I really loved how you incorporated the tapping into the music too, which is a great form to help us release that stress hormone. On our webpage, I was actually just going to drop the link in the chat too. It shows videos of how to teach children how to tap. I love how Jessica incorporated it into the music and the movement too. And there's another stress relief technique that is called havening, which involves different points of touch that you do. And I like, we can incorporate that with music too. So thank you for that really great question, Mary. And I'll drop some of those links in the chat for some of our free resources that can help with the concerns that you shared. Thank you. I'm going to grab that here. Any other questions? And also, I just wanted to let you know that a reminder, all of our Choose Love programming is without charge because we believe there should be no obstacles to choosing love. We do rely on the support of our community. And so if you are feeling inclined to donate, tonight, there's a donation link in the chat. Also, feel free to check out our CARES professional developments for schools and our online store. Both of those links are in the chat as well. And I just want to let Mary know, if you go to our Choose Love for Schools and you go to supplemental resources, you will find tapping techniques and havening that you can access. And there's videos to show you how to do that as well. So thank you so much, Jessica. Thank you for this fun. Thank you for your energy. Your positivity just radiates to us all. And I think we all felt it here tonight. So thank you. And if anybody else has any other questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we thank you. And we hope to see you again at one of our next upcoming Spotlight webinars.